evening. Today is January 25. I'm Gaudencio Boniseli. I'm here again just to share to you some reminders and key points regarding the offset bends. The code limits the allowable bends to 360 degrees, meaning for 90 degree bends for one continuous run from between pull points. Let's say from point A to point B, there should be only 4 90-degree bends, okay, or 360 degrees bends between pull points, junction box or utility box or pull box, okay. Because if we forgot to consider the code limits into 4 90-degree bends, then it will be very difficult to pull the wire or insert the wire into a conduit. Let's say we are going to do some bendings, because on the conduit we must do some offset bends, 90 degrees or 45 degrees, 10 degrees, 30 degrees, 22 degrees, like that. Then if we are going to utilize, let's say here, I'll show you. Let's say we are going to bend because there is obstruction along the way of our conduit to be laid or to be installed, Then if the offset bends or offset rise, the height of the obstruction or offset is 8 inches, and if we are going to utilize from this bends and to this bend, lower bends and upper bends, let's say 10 degrees for each bend, then we are going to use the multiplier of 10 degrees. Every degrees we are going to utilize, we are going to multiply the multiplier into offset rise to get the hypothenuse or distance between bends from here to here, okay, from this point to this point. That is the distance between bends or hypothenuse. So let's say 8 inches the offset rise, we are going to utilize 10 degrees. So we multiply 6 times 8. 6 times 8 equals 48. So from this point to this point, there will be 48 inches. Okay. Then, let's say we are going to utilize 30 degrees for the offset bends from the lower point to the upper point. 30 degrees, the multiplier is 2. Then if the offset rise is 8 inches, 8 times 2, 16. From this point to this point, there will be only 16 inches. Okay, because the higher the angle, the distance between bends will become short. Unlike lower angle, the distance between this point and this point or bends, this distance between bends become longer. The advantage of this, it will be easier to insert the wire like this, This is an actual degree. I utilize inclinometer. I have inclinometer here. If you cannot buy this one, you can download also on your cell phone, on your mobile cell phone, the inclinometer application. So you can make an actual inclination. This one 10 degrees, 15 degrees, 22.5 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees. Okay. Why we have to know this? Why not only 10 degrees or 45 degrees? Now, this is the reason why we have to know, we have to memorize the multipliers of every angles we are going to utilize. Okay, because let's say we are going to install, we are going to make some cable pulling. We are going to insert size 14 AWG wire THHN to the conduit. Say on our conduit, 1.5 inch, we have pipe rack. So we are going to bend 15 degrees, 15 degrees, 15 degrees. This is an 4 bends or 4-point saddle. We are going to utilize 15 degrees. On our first option, 15 degrees. Then on the corner, 90 degrees. And then another obstruction because of the air handling unit, air duct. We are going to utilize 30 degrees on our first option. Then another obstruction, piping. We are going to utilize only 3-point saddle because this is only small. 22.5 degrees on our first option. Another corner, we are going to utilize 90 degree elbow. And then on the lamp. So, direct like this. But, if the code limits allowable bends is only 360 degrees or 4 bends or 490 degree bends between pull points. Okay? Now, if we add on our first option 22.5 degrees plus 90. So, how many bends? 22 degree, 22.5. 1, 2, 3. 22.5 degree times 3 bends equals 67.5. Okay? Now, on the 4-point saddle, 1, 2, 3, 4. 30 degree times 4, 120 degree. Now, on the lower portion, another 4-point saddle, 15 degree. 1, 2, 3, 4. 15 times 4, 60. If we add on our first option, 90 plus 67.5 plus 120 plus 90 plus 60 is equals 427.5 degree. Whereas on the code limits, the allowable bends limits to 360 degree only. So, we violate, no? To prevent violation, then we have to reduce the degrees of angles we are going to bend. Now, we are going to use the second option. Plan B, no? Instead of 22.5 degree bends, we utilize 10 degrees on the 3-point saddle. So, because it has a 3 bends, no? 10 degrees times 3 equals 30 degrees only. On the 4-point saddle, on the air handling unit, air duct, we have 30 degrees before, no? Instead of 30 degrees, we utilize only 22.5 degree. 22.5 degree times 4, only 90 degrees. Now, on the lower portion, pipe rack area, instead of 15 degree, we utilize 10 degree only. 10 degree times 4, only 40 degrees. Oh, so if we add from this point up to this point, okay, 90 plus 30, 90 plus 30 plus 90 plus 60, 40. because 10 degree times 4, 40. So 90 plus 30 plus 90 plus 90 plus 40, only 340 degrees. So we comply. If we are going to reduce the angle of degrees, because there is no other option but to increase the bends, no? Instead of 4 bends only, see how many bends? Too many. But because the degrees we reduce, we still comply with the code limits of 360 degree bends. That's why it is important for us, an electrician, to consider the code limits. Also in bending, we must avoid sharp bends. And when bending, use the spring. So, I have here. Just a minute. Here. For the 1.5 inch, because if you heat up this one using blowtorch or heat gun, if you bend this without spring, guide spring, tendency the PVC or the pipe will be kink or sharp bend. What will happen? There will be restriction inside the conduit. Then what is the consequence? There will be restriction. You cannot easily insert the conductors, let's say 4 conductors or even 2 conductors only. If your bends very sharp, then you have how many bends? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 bends. So it will be very difficult to pull the wire or insert the wire. That's why I recommend use the spring. Or else, use the larger pipe also, or conduit. But as much as possible, we follow the code limit regarding the allowable bends. Regarding the angles, then you can, if you have this like this compass, no, it has also the inclinometer. See this? You can see this moving part, no? It has an inclinometer. You see the, maybe you can read, no? So if you don't have this kind of inclinometer, you can download also on the what you call this application. You can download the application. If you want to utilize fixed 45 degrees, then you must have this. I recommend this multifunction. This also have the what do you call this? Sorry. See, it also has a tape measure, multifunction, multi-use. It has a horizontal spirit level, vertical spirit level, and then 45 degree spirit level. It's a fix. If you want to utilize 45 degree always, but I suggest consider what I have discussed, what I have shared to you. 10 degrees. It doesn't mean that you are going to utilize always 10 degree because it's easier to insert the wire or pull the wire. Depends on the situation also. You have to consider the offset rise. No? What is the offset rise? Then multiply the multipliers. If you utilize 10 degrees, 15 degrees, 22.5 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, or 60 degrees. No? Always before wiring or installation of the pipe or conduit, we have to size up or assess the area. If the area is clear, safe, also less obstruction, then it will be easier for us to install a conduit for cable pulling. But if there are obstruction, then we have to take a note, no? How many obstruction, then we do some measurements of the obstruction, the distance, the height, in between pull points. So from that point of view, we can make a plan. It's better to have a plan also before cutting the pipings or conduit. I hope I have shared to you some reminders and key points. This is not my own idea. It is already written on the book on our Philippine Electrical Code and National Electrical Code. I just share to you as a reminder. I hope by doing this, I contribute to my fellow workers, fellow electricians or contractors, so that our job can be done, can be accomplished without problem. Even the time pass by, if there is no problem, maybe our client will come back to us and ask our service for another project. Thank you. I hope you enjoy. Have a nice day.